Hi, and congratulations on your 2019 Murano SV. This is a fantastic choice for a luxury SUV. I know that you're going to love it. It's got everything to do with luxury. It's going to give you lots of space, comfort, and a very luxurious drive, along with a ton of features. We're going to go back through those. I know we covered a lot during the delivery, so I just want to refresh your memory on your features. And at the end, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Let's have a look at your brand new Murano. Alright, so as we start at the center console here, we see we've got a really nice large 8-inch touchscreen display. We're in the home menu right now. This is just where you go if you hit our menu button up top here. You can customize this screen here to determine what widgets are going to show up around here through the settings. There is a spot there to customize your home menu. Along the bottom, I've got options for phone, info, audio, back to my menu, map because we are equipped with navigation, connections, and my settings. So the one thing I do want to show you is if I go into connections, I can set up my phone here, but if I find a Wi-Fi and then connect to that, after I'm connected, the system is automatically going to pull in any updates that are available for the vehicle anytime that there's a new update, providing it connects to your Wi-Fi. Also, if I go into info and then come over here, I can go into system information, and through here, utilizing the update by Wi-Fi, I can update my maps for free, and there's typically updates 4 or 5 times a year. So I recommend checking about once a month or every 2 months, see if there's an update, pull in the updates for your area, or if you're traveling out of area, you can go ahead and you can pull in the updates for that area as well. So we're going to back out of here and we're going to go into the maps. Very, very simple to use navigation system. So here, right here is just a view of my map. If I know where I'm going, I can go to destination and enter the exact address through street address. I can change my province, I can set states, whatever I need to do. I do recommend setting just something nearby for your home location. Don't set it up for home. Hopefully nobody ever steals your vehicle, but if they do, you don't want them knowing where you live. If you're just looking for some sort of point of interest, so in here, I can look up gas stations, coffee shops, fast food, parking, cash dispensers or ATMs or banks, all kinds of options here. And then once I go in, it's going to pick what's closest to me and then start going from there. So really easy to operate, makes it nice and simple. Once your destination is set, it's going to talk to you through the system to tell you how far until your next turn and what direction you're going. And it's also going to show up on your driver assist display, but we'll get over there in a moment. Our audio is going to look just like this. Now, when I'm on FM, I've got 12 presets. When I'm on satellite radio, which is free for the first 3 months, I've got 18 presets. I still have a CD player up the top here. I've got Bluetooth, I've got USB and auxiliary for other methods to play music as well. So lots of options there. As I move down, I've got dual climate control. Now right now I've got it set to auto, so you find a temperature that you like, you set it to auto, and then you just leave it. And once the vehicle starts to get where it needs to be, if it's in the winter, it's going to need to warm up a touch, but as soon as it does, that fan is going to dial up all on its own, and it's automatically going to determine where my airflow goes. It's designed to get you to that temperature as fast as possible, whether it's warm air or cold air. As soon as it starts getting close, and we see the fan starting to come up there, as soon as it starts getting close, that fan will dial back all on its own and do only what it has to maintain the temperature inside the cabin. If I want to change it manually, I can adjust my fan here, or my airflow is through the mode. The moment I touch that, auto turns off. So I'm going to put auto back on. If I want my air strictly on the front windshield, I can hit right here. And this is going to turn on my rear defrost, which will also activate the heated side mirrors. Down below, I've got my USB ports. Now, new to Nissan on the 2019s is the Type-C USB. So I've got 2 different types here. It will take either one. The Type-C is going to allow you to charge a little bit faster. Either one is going to interact with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Down below here, I've got my heated seats. And then in my center storage, which is nice and large, I do have an additional 12-volt power port to go with the one that is located right up here. So if I pull that out, you see there I've got a 12-volt power port there as well. Next up, we're going to have a look over at the driver's side and see what features we have on the steering wheel and the driver assist display. So over here at the steering wheel, I've got my cruise control all right here. So if I watch right up in the corner here, when I turn on my cruise, simply by pressing this button here, that shows up there. From there, I can tap down to set my speed. As soon as I get up to speed, I can cancel. If I've had to tap the brake or cancel, I can tap up to resume, or I can tap up a couple times to increase the speed or down to decrease the speed. On the left side of the steering wheel from the bottom, we have our volume for our radio. Source is going to change the source of your audio from AM to FM to satellite to Bluetooth to USB to auxiliary to CD and so on. So you can control everything to do with your radio right here from your steering wheel. It's a really nice option because this button here, by tapping it up and down, will allow you to go through your presets on your radio. So we're going to look over as I tap up. We see it goes through the presets. If I go back down, it goes the other way. If I'm streaming through Bluetooth, USB, or CD, tapping up or down is going to skip tracks. Up here, I've got my voice recognition. This button here will answer a call or hang up a call. This button up here is going to allow me to make an outbound call, or with my navigation system, if we hop back over here for the moment, when I'm driving, all of these buttons are going to gray out. It is a hazard to try and set your navigation while you're driving. However, if I use the voice recognition button up here, I can set my navigation by voice while I'm moving. That way my eyes stay on the road and my hands stay on the wheel. This button here, which I've left for last, is for our driver assist display screen. And right now I'm on the home screen. The home screen is going to show me a compass, a digital speedometer, and what's going on with my radio. If I tap over to the right one, this is strictly what's going on with my radio. The next one over. Now, this is a compass. This pertains to the navigation that I mentioned earlier. When you have a destination set, this is going to change to show an arrow going up and to the right or up and to the left. That's the direction of your next turn. It's also going to count down the distance until that turn on this screen. Our next screen over just gives some averages. Now it's running kind of high right now because it's run for a total of 34 minutes, but it's only gone 23 kilometers. Average speed has been 4 kilometers an hour. So it's run 2.6 kilometers since it was reset last, but it's run for 34 minutes. So to reset this, we're just going to press and hold the OK button. And everything resets and we start from scratch. You're going to see much better gas mileage than what we just saw there. This screen is strictly for your fuel economy. Your driving aids. So this vehicle is equipped with blind spot indicators on either side. When you have a vehicle in your blind spot, whichever side it's on, the indicator on that side is going to light up and stay lit up a dull orange as long as part of that vehicle is in your blind spot. Now, while this indicator is lit up, if I signal to go left, this indicator is going to start flashing and it's going to start beeping inside the Murano here, just to let me know that I do have a vehicle over there in my blind spot. The same works on the opposite side. Now you also have automatic emergency braking and forward collision warning in the front. So the way that that's going to work is if the vehicle in front of you is suddenly slowing down, you're closing that gap really fast. Inside the Murano here, it's going to beep at you and the gas pedal is going to push back against your foot a little bit. If you don't react fast enough at that point, the beeping will get louder and faster, and if necessary, it will start to apply the brakes to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. The final piece of your driving aid right here is rear cross traffic detection. So when you're backing out of a parking spot, if you have movement within 2 car lengths of you on either side of the vehicle coming towards you, inside the Murano here, it's going to beep at you, and whichever side your movement is coming from, your blind spot indicator on that side of the vehicle is going to be flashing to let you know that's where your movement is coming from. And that'll work on anything from a transfer truck right down to a cat. This screen is going to show me what's going on with my tire pressure for each wheel individually once I start driving. If I do have a low tire, it's going to pop up and tell me low tire. It'll tell me exactly what tire is low and what the exact pressure is on that tire. Once I go to put some air in the tire, whether it's at the gas station or wherever, simply start putting air in the tire that needs it. Once it gets to the right pressure, the car horn's going to beep to tell you to stop. This screen will allow you to review any warnings. So if I go back a screen, I'm going to purposely create a warning here. So right away I see I've got a warning, and up the top I've got a yellow triangle with an exclamation mark. Now I can clear that warning by hitting the button down here, but my triangle stays because the warning is still there. If I go over to this screen, this allows me to review the warnings, and I can simply press the OK button and it tells me I've got a door open. So in this case, to clear that out, I'm just going to shut the door, because all you do is correct the issue. If it's low wiper fluid, add wiper fluid. If it's a low tire, add tire, and so on. Just fix the issue and that'll clear it off. The last screen over is our settings screen. So on this screen there's a couple settings that I do typically change on a vehicle. First one pertains to the way the vehicle locks. By default, Nissan vehicles will automatically unlock the vehicle when you turn the vehicle off. I've set it so that when you shift into park, it's automatically going to unlock the vehicle. Feel free to set it back. It's personal preference. I just set it that way because that's how most people prefer to have it set. Now if I go back a couple screens, the other thing that I do is I go into wipers and I make them speed dependent. So when my wipers are on intermittent, if I'm driving residentially, the moment I turn onto the highway and go faster, my wipers will go a little bit faster to match. As we move down, we're going to see 3 buttons here. The first button here is our heated steering wheel. Next to that, we've got traction control. We highly recommend just leaving this alone unless you're familiar driving with it off. Traction control turned off is going to allow your vehicle to slip. You're in an all-wheel drive vehicle. The other part about turning the traction control off is you'll notice there's an extra icon shows up here. Looks like 2 cars crashing. You're turning off your automatic emergency braking when you turn off your traction control. So if I turn it back on, you notice both indicators go away. The final button here is for your power liftgate. All you got to do is press and hold this for 2 seconds. If you're inside and somebody wants to get something out of the back, that'll open it and you can close it the same way. You can do the same thing from your key fob right here on the bottom. Press and hold for 2 seconds when you're outside the vehicle and it'll open or close it. That power liftgate also has kick motion activation, so it's just a fluid kick in and out of the center of the back, providing you have the key fob on you. As we look up above, this vehicle is equipped with a panoramic moonroof. Now the screen is currently covering it. I've got 2 different buttons here. Nissan has finally broken it out because there was an issue in the past with a double click where it would open the screen and then open the moonroof. So I'm going to hit this button to open the screen, and you're going to notice it's going to stop about halfway right at the partition. So I'm going to press it again and it opens up the rest of the way. From there, if I want to tilt this, I can simply press up and that's going to open up. I can stop it. If I press down, it's just going to tilt it to vent, and I can press down again to close that as well. So lots of options there. In just a second, we're going to pop out and have a look at how the remote starts works and the power liftgate. I do want to mention that with the remote start, providing it is 3 degrees or lower Celsius outside and your engine is cold, when you remote start, regardless of what your climate control is set for, all your air is going to get focused up onto the windshield and the 2 front side windows. It's also going to turn on your rear defrost, which will activate the heated side mirrors, and it's going to automatically turn on the heated steering wheel. And if you've left your heated seat in on position, it will start to warm up your seat as well. All of that by remote starting when the vehicle is cold and it's 3 degrees or lower outside. Alright, so we're here on the outside of the vehicle here. We do have an intelligent key system, so there's a button on each of your front doors that looks like this. Providing I have my key fob on me, I can simply walk up, push this once, and we'll hear a single beep. That means just this door is open. Everything else is still locked. A second push gives me another single beep. Now the entire vehicle is unlocked. Once everybody gets out and your doors are all shut, one push is going to yield 2 beeps. And now the entire vehicle is unlocked. Or sorry, is locked. So we're going to pop around the back here and show you how to use the power liftgate. So we see right here, it tells us directly down under the center. And again, you have to have the key fob on you. So right under the center of the back, if we give a little kick in and out, we get 3 beeps telling us to move out of the way. and the power lift gate opens. So once it's fully opened, on the top here we have a button that we can use to push and it'll close it again, or I can give another kick in and out. There's 3 more beeps, and away goes the power lift gate to close. The final thing that we're going to look at is our remote start. So for the remote start, we're going to hit the lock button and then hold the top button for 5 seconds, and there the vehicle is started. This will run for up to 10 minutes. You do need to physically engage the vehicle when you get in, which is simply putting your foot on the brake and hitting the start button, the exact same as starting it. If you're running behind, you can add an extension of 10 minutes to the count from wherever you're at. So if you've been running for 8 minutes and you know that you're going to be late, you can hit the lock and hold that top button for 5 seconds again. You'll see a flash on your lights from inside the house. That means that you've added 10 minutes to the count. If you do it right away, it's only going to run to the 11-minute mark. If I decide I'm not going anywhere, I can simply just press and hold the top button and my vehicle turns off. If you don't get in and engage the vehicle, it will turn off after 10 minutes or after that extension is up. Congratulations again on an amazing choice on the 2019 Nissan Murano SV. This truly is a luxury vehicle. You're going to find that everything about it is a luxury vehicle, and I know that you're going to love it. I hope this refreshed your memory on a lot of the features that we went over. If you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to call, text, email, or drop in. I will do my best to answer you as fast as I can.